Hello and welcome. Today we're presenting a program preview of the Professional Certificate Program in Data Analytics. My name is Stuart Creek. I'm a marketing manager here at Simplilearn, the delivery partner with Purdue University for this program. Also in collaboration with IBM. And we're going to be hearing a little bit today from Bryan Campbell, who is a very experienced program and project management expert, but also an analytics expert. He's going to be talking about the program. He is the president of 7Cs Consulting. He's one of our senior instructors in our Simplilearn programs. So we'll hear from him in a bit. And we're going to be covering what data analytic career opportunities that are out there for you, and then what this program offers, how it gets you job ready, the enrollment steps that you need to take if you're interested, and I'll cover some of your questions toward the end of the webinar. So I'm going to begin with a segment that Bryan recorded. I will play that for you in just a moment, and he'll be talking about careers in data analytics.
So let's talk a bit about data analytics careers, because it sounds like some of you might be in this space. You're interested in getting in this space. Maybe you've just spent a few years, recently graduated from college, or maybe been doing this for a while, and you see the opportunity here. So let's talk a bit about how important data is to our new digital economy. So I'm sure you can all appreciate companies are basing their decisions based on the data that they have. The struggle, of course, is there's so much data, it's difficult to interpret, and they need people, data analysts, who can help them get the insights they need to make the right business decisions. And just to put this a little bit in perspective, the volume of data that is being collected and captured has just grown exponentially over the last 20 years. And you can see this number here, 175 zettabytes of data by 2025. And if you're not terribly familiar with what the zettabyte is, it's about 7.5 trillion MP3 songs. That's a single zettabyte. So imagine 175 of those, and it's going to continue to grow. So there's a lot of interest in organizations to get help analyzing, interpreting, and using this data so they can determine the best products they can bring to market, or ensure that they're giving the best customer experience to their customers. And in fact, the Fortune, which is one of the leading business analytical magazines and organizations, forecast that big data spending is going to grow from $41 million in 2019 to $116 billion in 2027. So organizations see the value and the importance of this, and they're making some big investments in this space. And as a result, the demand for data analysts is skyrocketing. We can see here that about 23% growth in data analytics jobs in 2026. So this is coming up very quickly. We just stepped into 2022 here, and 11.5 million new jobs. So there's lots of opportunity, and see the organizations that are hiring them. The companies were all globally familiar with Amazon, Facebook, JP Morgan Chase, big global banking and financial services organizations. All of them are leveraging this data. Apple, of course, Microsoft, Google, they're all driving the demand for these kinds of roles. So what do you really need to be an expert data analyst? Well, this is kind of important because this is an area you want to go into. You should probably be familiar with what it's going to look like. First is you're going to need to have some interest, familiarity, and skills with statistics. You need to be able to extract from all that data that an organization has and determine some statistics. What kind of growth are they seeing? What percentage growth compared to past periods? What's the absolute numbers, the relative numbers? Giving them visibility to how this data can help them make good decisions. To do this, you're going to need some programming skills, and most of these are in this sort of data extraction and cleansing and normalizing, so you get the data to the point that you can visualize it, put it into bar graphs or line charts or any numbers of different ways in which we can visualize that information so organizations can make effective decisions. Creating models so you can pull data in and use those models to determine things like customer satisfaction or market growth, and different classification methods, because organizations are going to be interested in understanding what kind of customers do we have, what are sort of the age brackets we want to focus on, what are some of the demand that we're seeing from maybe from different genders or different geographies. And then, of course, artificial intelligence is becoming more and more prominent. So finding ways in which to get this data to shift this into artificial intelligent platforms so that they can make decisions. And I'm sure most of you have probably had some experiences when you go to websites and you want to interact with their customer support and you click on that chat button. Typically, the first types of responses you get from that chat bot is from an artificial intelligent agent that is being fed by all the data that has been gathered from previous interactions with customers. So these are real opportunities for organizations, not just to provide more products and services, but increase their customer support.
And what I'm going to do now is share with you a poll to ask you about what's prevented you up until now from becoming data analytics expert. And I'd like you to answer in the WebEx poll widget here. We'll stay open for another 10 seconds. Get your answers in, please. I'm about to close the poll. All right. So about half of our audience thinks that they haven't found a program that can give them practical experience that they can demonstrate to potential employers. Then anywhere from 10 to a quarter of the audience has the other issues with programs they've seen. So let's go into this particular program. This is a program from Purdue University. It's delivered by Simplilearn. It's the Professional Certificate Program in Data Analytics. and it is a comprehensive program. It's delivered entirely online. It takes you about 8 months to complete, and your obligation is to devote about 10 hours a week to the course. That covers both the live virtual classes that you'll take over the weekends or sometimes weeknights, and that's 8 hours of instruction a week. And then you have your projects and homework that you do anytime in between on the online platform, so you can fit that to whatever days and hours fit into your schedule and are convenient for you. And it includes integrated case studies, integrated projects, things that you do that give you practical hands-on experience with tools, concepts, platforms for data analytics, so that you build up a portfolio of projects that you can then show to a potential employer. So this is what the program offers you. At the end of the process, you'll receive a certificate from Purdue University and Simplilearn that certifies that you've completed the program successfully, all the core courses. Along the way, if you take the courses from IBM, a couple of the core courses come from IBM, and IBM will issue you a certificate that is independent of the program that you can then also show off to employers. You'll have over 14 hands-on projects and integrated labs along the way, so you'll be building up that portfolio of projects. And you'll be able to take master classes from Purdue University instructors and from IBM industry instructors. IBM also offers, as part of the program, hackathons and AMA sessions, so that you get exposure to those folks from industry. And then we'll talk more about the Capstone Project, which is how you demonstrate at the end of the program that you have added all of these skills to your portfolio, to your personal toolkit, and that you're able to use them in an integrated project that solves an industry or business aligned problem. And part of the program also is oriented toward your career. We offer job assist to those users who are in India or in the United States. Fortunately, not in other countries, but everyone gets a Purdue Alumni Association membership so that they can do networking with other folks from Purdue, other students who have graduated or completed programs like this. So, moving forward, a little bit about Purdue University. What makes it special? Purdue University is a 151-year-old institution. It is one of the first land-grant universities in the United States, meaning it was set up by a special act of the government of the state of Indiana, and it is consistently one of the top public universities in the United States, one of the top universities in the world. It has produced Nobel Prize winners among its graduates, and having Purdue University on your CV is definitely a prestigious accomplishment. It's something that people will recognize worldwide. The name Purdue University does have that pull. So this is something that will add value to your resume, just from the name, but also from the quality of the education. You also have the advantage of IBM, and IBM offers the courses, but it also offers, as I mentioned, master classes and hackathons and Ask Me Anything sessions that enhance the program for you and give you a chance to further develop your skills, get more insights into the industry and the career field, So we're really very proud of this part of our program and our partnership with IBM. Now, as I mentioned, Simplilearn offers career assist service. And this is provided through two of our partners. In India, it's IIMJobs, and in the United States, it's Talent Inc. That's part of the service, and I will talk about that in a moment. We also offer access to career webinars, expert webinars on different technology topics, industry outlook webinars. These are all free and available to you. And you also have your portfolio of projects that you've developed in the program as a job search tool. Let's talk about the job assist services directly provided by our partners. So one of them is the job portal. Resume Rabbit in the US, IIMJobs in India, and this gives you access to their exclusive sets of job opportunities. This gives you the ability to search those opportunities and apply to them without revealing anything to your current employer. The discretion is very important. Privacy is very important. But the other two parts of the service, I think, in my opinion, are more important. Resume review and rewrite service from the Talent Inc. version is called Top Resume, both in India and in the US. Resume review and rewrite is so important because today your resume will not hit the desk of a human being until it's passed through an automated tracking system, which includes an AI bot that will evaluate your resume against the job description. And understanding how to create and craft a resume so that it has the highest chance of passing through the AI review on the one hand, but also is still attractive and catches the attention of the human on the other end of the process is almost an art form. And so having the help of professional resume writers at this stage in the job search is very important. You also get one-on-one interview practice services, including some career coaching, and the interviews allow you to practice both the subject matter types of interviews that you'll do about technical questions about data analytics, but they also allow you to practice the interviews that are for softer skills and for team players and the types of questions managers will ask about how well you'll fit in with the organization. So those types of interviews, you'll end up with both types when you go out for your job search, and it's important to know how to ace both kinds of interviews. So this is, again, a very valuable aspect. Now, these services extend for 6 months after you completed the program. So you have the 8 months of doing the program where you can start using some of these services, and then for 6 months after you receive your certificate, you have access to these services. So this is to help you look for and find that next job. It is not a job placement, it is a job search assistance program. I mentioned the expert webinars. We do webinars on a continual basis, several a week. Many of these webinars are with experts in industry talking about what you need to know to get a career in a particular area, or how to get the most out of your job search, introduce people to new technology areas like blockchain. We talk about mini lessons, 1 hour lessons, technology topics. So all of these are free and All of them are available to you ongoing into the future, so there's no time limit on this. Let's talk about the eligibility and prerequisites that you must have and that you should have to be able to join this program. There is one prerequisite that you must have, which is a bachelor's degree. It can be in any discipline. So it does not have to be a technology or mathematics, statistics, or computer programming, computer science degree. But you do have to have 50% or higher marks, which is a GPA of 2.0 or above. Then you can come from a programming or a non-programming background. Data analytics is a technical field. It requires an understanding of statistics and some aspects of programming, but we will teach you those things. So if you come in without those in your background, you'll have access to the materials you'll need to get a good grounding in those topics so that you can succeed in the program. It's good to have work experience for this program. It is not mandatory, but we say that it's always good to have at least 2 years of work experience. So we will be asking that question when you apply to the program. But again, work experience is not mandatory. You can come straight out of your education, out of your formal education to this program. So having said all that, I'd like to get a feeling from the audience of how much experience you do have. I'm just going to ask this poll question. Gives me a feeling for who's attending today, what your particular concerns and needs are. We'll leave this open another 10 seconds here. Okay. And I'm going to close the poll. So about a little under half of the audience are people with less than 2 years of experience, maybe still students or coming straight out of school or just new in the workforce. The rest of our audience has a range of experience from 2 years on up to more than 10 years. This program is designed to work for both the people without experience and the people with extensive experience. So, anywhere you fall on the spectrum, you can succeed in this program very well. Move on. We'll talk about how that works, and I'm going to let Bryan, again in a recorded segment, take you on a live tour of the learning environment and how that works for you. So let me set that up. We'll get that started.
Okay, so now we're going to shift gears a little bit, and let's take a look at what this learning environment consists of. So bear with me here as I bring that up. So this is often referred to as the learning management system that Simplilearn has been investing in over many, many years. And you'll see it's got a really nice layout, it's very accessible. You can tell that they've been applying some of their design development skills and UI development skills. So it's really easy to navigate. You'll see that there's a big button that says Go to Program for the Postgraduate Program in Data Analytics. It's going to bring you to the courses that you have. Now, this is one of the upcoming courses, and gives you a little flavor of what you can expect. Of course, there'll be a welcome class. That's real time, so you get a chance to get exposed to that. We've got a collection of different courses here. data analytics, you've got programming with Python, R programming, data science, Tableau, and then of course our Capstone program. And if you dive into one of these in a little bit more depth, you've got both live classes, self-learning, and labs. Let's click on the self-learning, and you'll see that we've got a collection of different topics you can click on. You can proceed at these at your own pace, and it's a nice sort of video-led format. As you progress through the content, you've got knowledge checks that you can apply to kind of assess if you captured all the important information. There's practice labs that you can click on. These practice labs give you the opportunity to, again, apply these hands-on skills. There's also live classes. These haven't been scheduled yet because the program hasn't started. But when they do, you'll have the ability to kind of join in with the live classes that are available, that are being directed and facilitated by people like myself. There's assessments you can take, quizzes that kind of help you validate that you've learned the concepts, and then finally certificates that you can unlock once you've completed your training. So really, rich and content-filled learning management system that gives you lots of flexibility. A lot of it is oriented around self-paced learning, so you've got the flexibility to kind of take that learning when it's convenient to you. It could be during your lunch hours, it could be in the evenings, the weekends, as well as instructor-led. So you get an opportunity to kind of ask questions directly to an instructor, to hear these concepts explained. And then there's also this community that is, I think, one of the more powerful parts of the program is you can click on community. It brings up a whole list of different topic areas. You can spend time with your peers and colleagues and ask questions, partner together on projects and lab assignments, anything that you need to get help on. I wanted to spend a little bit of time just giving a bit of flavor on that. This is accessible through any kind of device. A lot of people like to use it on their cell phones and tablets these days because they're so mobile, but whether you have a laptop or a PC, a tablet, even a phone, you'll be able to access all this great information.
All right. And we'll go back to the rest of our presentation here. So Bryan showed you the integrated learning environment, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about the program curriculum. So the program curriculum is built to give you a set of skills that builds up in a stepwise fashion. Start off with an orientation session, of course, that goes through what to expect from the program, what additional foundational material you might want to study based on your particular background, how to use the learning management system that Bryan just showed you, all of that type of thing. And once you've completed that, you unlock that first course, the Analytics Foundation course. Analytics Foundation gives you an overview of what analytics is, basic understanding of what's necessary in terms of statistical concepts and that type of thing. It gives you the base of knowledge that you need to move on to the next course, which is Programming Foundation in Data Analytics. So you're learning Python programming in that course. And again, if you come in without a programming background, during the orientation period, between the orientation and the beginning of Analytics Foundation, you'll be given access to courses that will get you basics that you need so that you can succeed in the Python programming module. Once you've gotten through Python programming, you introduce the language R, which is designed for data analysis, data science. And so you get taken through basics of R programming and then into data science with R, applying R to data science problems. The next course is Tableau training, so that you understand the tools for visualization of data and of analytics results. And finally, as I mentioned before, the Capstone Project, which takes all of these skills, asks you to apply them together in an integrated project to solve a industry-aligned problem. Now, you notice we talk about data science in this, and along with data analytics. And I saw a question that someone wanted to understand the difference between data science and data analytics. But data science is the fundamental principles of how to extract information from data. So it covers all of the tools and modeling and all of the theory behind what patterns you can find in data. Data analytics applies that to particular problems. So the data scientist will look at general data set and say, okay, these are different ways to extract information based on what you want to find out from this data set. And here are different models and algorithms that can be used. When the data scientist has completed that work, they pass that on to the analytics team, and the analytics team now has a tool set where they can apply those models and algorithms to specific problems. So if there's a general principle of how do we figure out what the seasonal variation in our sales is, you have the data science team, the data scientists who look at that data and come up with ways to extract that information. And then the data analytics team on an ongoing basis will look at the information that's coming in each quarter or each month or each week and pull that into the models, create the ultimate information reports for management. So data analytics is the applied version of data science. Along the way in the program, you get to take electives at your discretion. They are at no additional cost, and you can take as many as you feel you have the time and the inclination to take. Power BI, which is another analysis tool from Microsoft. Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, which gives you a little bit of exposure to some of the more advanced and more interesting topics that are going to affect data analytics in the future. You can take master classes from the Purdue University instructors, and you can also take master classes from IBM personnel. All of those things are available to you as well. And along the way, you'll master the various tools, libraries, and platforms that data analysts use. You have a number of them listed here. We mentioned Python and R, Power BI, also Excel and Tableau, different libraries for Python like NumPy and SciPy for analysis of numerical and scientific problems. So you'll not only be exposed to these and learn what they are, but you'll also be asked to use them in your projects. So at the end of the process, you'll be able to say with confidence that not only am I familiar with Python, for example, but I've used it in these projects. Not only am I familiar with Tableau, but here's how I used it in these projects, and you can take a look at my portfolio. So that's a very powerful tool that you have going into your job search after the program. The Capstone Project, which I've mentioned a few times, takes all of those tools, platforms, and all the skills you learned about using them and all the knowledge you gained about the principles of data science, techniques of programming to do data analysis, and asks you to put that all together to solve industry-aligned problem. So you'll be able to choose from several different domains. For example, a financial industry problem or consumer products type problem, and that it'll be stated as this company needs to find out this information from this data. How would you do that? So you build the actual solution, program it, you run it on the databases that have been put together for this purpose, and you demonstrate that your solution works. This is about a 3 to 4 week process, and you do it under the mentorship of one of your instructors, where you meet with them weekly and go over your progress, and they help make sure that you're not going down any dead ends or reaching any blockers or doubts that would prevent you from completing. And at the end of the process, you submit the project, which is basically your final exam for the program. You have to succeed in this Capstone project in order to earn your certificate. And once you do, you have this as a tool in your portfolio. Again, you can show off to a potential employer, this is the problem they asked me to solve. This is how I solved it. This is my solution, and this is how it works. And that gives you the ability then to say, you gave me a problem like this in an employee, you can have the confidence that I'd be able to solve it. This is really one of the, I think, the most valuable pieces of this program. Our program advisors include Dr. Wolf from the Purdue University and Ronald Van Loon, who is industry expert in data science. These people help design the courses, the curriculum, and oversee the delivery, so they make sure that the program meets the requirements that Purdue University has set forth for this type of education. So here's a testimonial from a past learner, and I'll give you a moment to read that, but basically Sahaj is saying that this is an area that really interests him, excites him, and coming in from a background without data science understanding or without coding experience, he was delighted that he was able to then learn the concepts, succeed in this, and come out of it with a certification that helped his career. So this is the type of result that I'd like to see from our learners. And at this point, I'm going to ask about enrollment steps. So first, are you interested, based on what you've heard so far, in enrolling in this program? I'll ask this poll question. Give me a moment. And I'll share with you the enrollment steps, the schedule, the program costs in just a moment. So. All right. And we'll close the poll in just a couple of seconds to get your answers in, and I'm going to close the poll now. So you can see about 90% of our audience, a little over 90% of our audience, are interested in enrolling, definitely or maybe. So I'm going to share with you the steps and the other details here. The enrollment process is very straightforward. Enrollment process is email us at askus@simplilearn.net, and when you do, you'll be in contact with our learning consultants. They'll be able to take you through the enrollment process, you'll need to submit some information about yourself in order to complete the enrollment process, including your academic qualifications, proof that you have your bachelor's degree. You'll need to take an evaluation of your abilities in programming, statistics, things like that, so that we know what additional support you'll need coming into the program. And you don't have to have any background in those areas. It's just the assessment test that allows us to help you succeed. And presuming you've passed all the requirements, then you get an admission offer by email. I just put the email address into the chat for everyone. So the next cohort I can practically get into is an orientation starts on 8 January. The classes themselves start on 20 January in North American time. That happens to be 21st January morning, India. So that's the beginning of the next cohort. The pricing here is shown in both US dollars and Indian rupees. And if you are in India, the price will be denominated in rupees. See that it's 2 lakh 12,415, and you can finance it for as low as 7,051 per month. That's zero interest financing. For people in the US or anywhere else in the rest of the world, denominated in US dollars, so that's $3,749 for the program, which can be financed at $330 a month. So again, reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. We'll be able to get the enrollment process started. Just another quick question for you in the audience. If you are part of the 90% who are interested and think that this is something you want to do, when do you want to do it? Do you want to get into that January cohort? Do you maybe want to do the one right after that, or are you looking further out? Again, we always say that if it's something that's going to improve your life and your career, to consider doing it sooner than later. Here we go. All right. And about a third of our audience wants to get started either in the January cohort or the ones right after that. So again, email us at askus@simplilearn.net. Get that process started for you. So I've been watching and I've seen a number of questions coming in. This is the time where I'm going to try to answer those for you. And there you go. So I'm going to scroll through the chat to find the questions, but we do have excuse me. Okay. Looking through the chat here. We already talked Camilla Rossi asked about the difference between data scientists and data analysts. I talked about the two roles. The users asked about a career gap. Can you join the data analytics program after a career gap? And the answer is yes, you can. You do need to have the bachelor's degree. You need to have the other qualifications. Your career gap is not a factor in joining this program. And this program may be helpful to you to get past the career gap and demonstrate that you have a new skill set to offer in the market. So that's good. Already talked about the fees. I'm going through here. Okay. Can your bachelor's degree be Mateus, sorry, asks if bachelor's degree can be from Brazil. Yes, if it's an accredited institution, your bachelor's degree can be from Brazil or any other country. Looking up here. One moment. Venkatesh asks a question. Are they providing projects to keep in resume? So IIMJobs isn't doing that. You do that through the program. You can also do that through things like HackerRank or other companies that will offer open source projects or other hackathons that you can develop projects that you can add to your portfolio. So, and Jana asks, what if I have 3 years of my diploma? You do need to have a bachelor's degree awarded. It has to be, if you're in your final year of university or college, you can enroll in the program so long as your bachelor's degree will be awarded before you complete this program. And let's see if we have another question coming in. Hold on just a second. All right, Krishna has asked a question about comparing this to some of the free courses Simplilearn offers for skills like Python and other courses. And some of the fundamentals, if you came in without a programming background to this program and needed to have some basic grounding in programming as part of the preparation, we would refer you to some of our free courses on basics of programming. But when you get into the Python course, we're offering a program that's designed uh, with IBM. So it's not at all the same as the free course that we offer for reviewing Python. We offer those free courses as a basic service. Those are all self-directed video courses. And this is an entirely different program. So do we have the answer to your question is yes, this is a much more intensive program. Eric Lay asked, do you have a program for data scientists? If you, where can you find them? So if you go to our website, I'm going to give you right now the link to the homepage for this program, but you'll be able to also navigate, take a look at some of the other programs that we have. You'll be able to look in the data science category, for example, or any of the other technology categories that we have. And I've just put that into the chat. And you can take a look at the different programs that we have. We have a similar program from Purdue, for example, is a professional certificate program, excuse me, in data science. So you have the option of doing that. Covers some of the same material and then goes into more depth in certain other topics as well. And I think that covers all of the questions that have come in so far. Let me see. Yeah. Last question I'll take. Tabish asks, sir, can this Bachelor of Commerce, can a Bachelor of Commerce do this program? Yes, you can. If you have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution and if you earned 50% marks or better, absolutely you qualify for this program. If this is something that is of interest to you and if you're really motivated to use data analytics in your career. And Jaya asked one more question, which is, we have other programs, masters in data science, masters in business analysis, that type of thing. Those are not affiliated with universities the way this one is. So there's an advantage in this program of the participation of Purdue University and the quality of their master classes and that type of thing. So those add a different kind of value to this program compared to the other one. I think that covers it. Strata asks, don't have a bachelor's. What do I suggest? If you don't have your bachelor's currently, or if you're not working on a bachelor's, we do have other programs that are available. Which I pointed out, the master's program may be appropriate. It may not have the same requirement for the bachelor's degree. There are other courses that we offer, and there are other avenues for getting some basic studies of data analytics. So you can actually contact our learning consultants and they can advise you on that as well. Victor Fernandez, will the instructors be native English speakers? English is a second language. I would contact our learning instructors about that concern. Some of our instructors for this program are folks who work in India. So they speak perfectly good English. If you have a difficulty with accented English, that may be an issue. But we have other programs that are offered with U.S.-based instructors, and so you may want to find out about those as well. And Eric asks, if learners spend more hours a week, possible to finish the program in less than 8 months? Generally speaking, it really isn't, because we want to make sure that you follow the curriculum in it completely. And part of the instruction is through live virtual classes that are on a weekly schedule. So you won't be able to skip ahead of the live classes for each course, and then you won't be able to skip ahead to future courses until you complete the one you're in. So this is really designed to be followed in a particular schedule. But again, you can ask the learning consultants if they have more advice for you on that. With that, I'm going to close the question period. I want to thank everybody for the questions. I apologize if I haven't gotten to yours. And we'll move on. So if you are interested in enrolling, if this is something that you're interested in doing, I'd like to ask, do you need any assistance with enrollment? Ask this question. It's pretty straightforward. So again, for those of you who are interested, more than half. Again, for assistance, please email us at askus@simplilearn.net. The QR code on the screen will take you to the program page, and you can also reach our learning consultants through that. With that, we've reached the end of our presentation. I want to thank everyone who came out today, this evening, this morning, to attend this presentation. We hope we can welcome you into the learning community with Purdue University and Simplilearn. And we hope you have a great rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are. So thank you and goodbye.